And back to school with Prepare Ukrainian Edition. This is our topic today. My name is Tatiana Shelepko. I'm a Cambridge English ELT consultant. What will be our agenda today? So we will look at year 5 of new Ukrainian school concept and how it works these days. Starting the new school year, we will look at a few activities that can be useful for you to start your school year, and what to expect with Prepare Ukrainian Edition, some useful resources, and I will leave some time for questions and answers. I will see all of your questions in the Q&A box. I already see 16 of those, so don't be afraid that I won't see them if they're not in the chat. I will. Okay, so talking about new Ukrainian school for secondary school, how it works. Grade 5 and 6 are adaptation period. Grade 7 and 8 are basic subject competencies. What does it mean? It means that in this adaptation period, we don't have to fill our students with a lot of more knowledge about English, grammar, lexical material, and how it works. We are still building their motivation, and also in the 5th grade, which is the most important, we are building the transition from them being primary students to them being secondary students. We're preparing them to become teenagers and to take much more responsibility on their learning. And what's also important for our country, that we will have to teach them how to take responsibility for their own learning and how to take responsibility for understanding why English is so important these days, especially because since the pandemic times, there is much more students' autonomy, and we can, of course, say that this is all getting worse and worse. But at the same time, students are now really autonomous, and our main idea here is to teach them how to take that responsibility. And the point is that here in Ukraine, the ability to take responsibility grows every day, and it's visible in the whole society. So it might be a really challenging time, but challenging times create strong people, and this is our task to teach them to be competent, to think critically, first of all, to be creative, to be socially responsible, to be emotionally responsible, to be able to survive in really challenging times. And when we teach them to do that, we learn ourselves how to survive in these challenging times. So when we talk about adaptation period, it means that we adapt our students to the fact that they're going to be teenagers, and also to the fact that this is our reality in which we are going to learn English. And maybe the main idea is that to show them that we are here for you, we are ready to consult, to help, to facilitate the process, but we cannot stuff you with the knowledge, because it's not the time anymore when students were in a super safe model of life where we could stuff them with knowledge and then let them go to the university where the teachers stuff them with more knowledge, and then they are ready to be part of society which already decided everything for them. Yeah, so the times are very much more different. And we have possibility to be close to our students, even though we most probably might be really far because of the whole remote learning process. And yeah, an important phrase that I'm always thinking about: people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And this is something to take our basis from, to make students feel something about English, something about English culture, something about language, and not only the subject, but the whole variety of possibilities that knowledge of this subject opens. Now, what is taken into the foundation of the state standard is also life competencies. And I already mentioned a few of them. This is critical thinking, collaboration, learning to learn, creative thinking, communication, social responsibilities. All of them fall into smaller categories and so on. And you can have a look at how these competencies work in the Cambridge Life Competencies brochures. There is one such brochure for teenage learners specifically, and you can find a lot of interesting activities for you, and the idea is how to evaluate their life competencies as well. So make sure that you search for life competencies brochures. They are being updated every few months. So if you looked at those 3 years ago, now they're much better, updated, different, and easier to use, super user-friendly. Now, back to school, what a teacher needs to know when he's going back to school to the 5th grade this particular year. There is a great range of articles that we started developing with the Linguist Company, and you can find all of them by this QR code. If you scan the QR code or save the QR code on your phone now, if you're from the phone, make a screenshot and then find, or you can also find those on our Facebook page. So what it is, it's the whole list of things that teachers need, and some of those things are mostly documents, right? So this is state standard. Highly recommended to read the extraction 5 for the state standard, where all the expected results are provided for teachers of English, how what results should be within students in terms of reading, listening, writing, speaking, how to evaluate them, what they have to know in terms of life skills, and so on. So it is recommended to read the state standard, not to think that it's only something for the methodologists in your school, but also to see how it works. Model program, also for Prepare, we use the model program. And in this model program, you will also see all the expected results and ideas on how to evaluate both life skills and language skills. And at the same time, all the topics and all the material for you to create the learning program. Talking about learning program, this is something you can create based on model program and the needs of your particular school. So you will not find the learning program, you will have to develop it yourself with the teachers. And it might be very much like the model program, but also in these life hacks I showed you on the previous slide. You will find the constructor that creates the learning program, which you can build yourself using all these documents and all the links to these documents as well. Yearly planning, that one you can find on the Publishing Linguist website. I will give you the links at the end of the webinar for sure. And yeah, of course, use Cambridge Life Competencies Framework for teens. It will be really helpful for you to, if you acquire the system, you will understand what's how your lesson is progressing from one to another in the whole year, and see your students' progress for sure. So when you're starting the new school year, what activities you can use? You can also find a few tips for and life hacks for teachers that we've developed on the Linguist UA website. But I just decided for you to show a few activities that I found really amusing for the first lesson in your classroom. So before you go, you need to establish your aims. What do you want to do with your students? What is your main aim for this lesson? And possible aims for the first class would be encourage collaboration amongst class members. Another one, reduce affective filter. Create a rapport between yourself and each student. Establish class rules or routines. Identify learners' interests, strengths, and weaknesses. These are, as for me, these sound like the most important aims for the lesson, for the first lesson. Yeah, not to talk English at once. Like, here is grammar, here is lexical. No, first, working with the personality, working with their competencies, and all this in a very communicative way. So choose activities which achieve your aim. For example, for the first activity, for the first aim, to build a sense of collaboration amongst class members, what we can do? Use these beginnings of the sentences. All of us, some of us, none of us. And then make groups of 3-4 people. Students ask each other questions in order to complete the sentence starters so they are true for their group. Yeah? In a group, you decide, all of us, for example, all of us have brown hair. Some of us have brown eyes. None of us wear t-shirts, yeah, for example. And they can make as many sentences as possible in these groups and using different topics, using different lexical material they remember from the previous year. For example, all of us play football. None of us go skiing. Some of us can swim, and so on and so on. So as much as they can remember and activate out of the language they know would be great. And of course, you need to set the time limit. Before feedback, regroup students and ask them to tell their new group about their original group. That's if you feel that your students can do it. This allows for the maximum interaction and collaboration across the class and serves as a more student-centered form of feedback. You can do that in a breakout rooms in Zoom, or you can and then regroup them. At some point, this option is possible for Zoom. And if this is offline, you just seat them together and then ask them to mingle and regroup. To reduce learners' affective filter. This is one of my favorite things, and I just had a lot of fun doing it today, actually. What it is. This is a chart. So you ask students to draw a chart in their notebooks, and then ask them to draw a big circle in the first square, a little circle in the second square, a diagonal line in the third square, a little square in the fourth square, any kind of line, whatever they might think of, in the fifth, and a rectangle in the sixth. Then number three, step 3. Here, give students 5 minutes to use each of the 6 shapes as a starting point for their own doodles. Then when they have finished their 6 drawings, ask them to give each picture a title. Reveal to the class that this was a psychological test. This usually results in much hilarity, they say. So this is what I did. I didn't know this is the test, so I was just randomly making pictures. And then you can reveal the meaning. Picture 1, how you see yourself. Picture 2, how your friends see you. Picture 3, your career and studies. Picture 4, your home life. And 5, how you feel about your hobbies. And 6, your attitude to life. My favorite is my career. I'm going down the hill on a bicycle, but everything is very green. So maybe I will go cycling at some point, and we'll be doing some downhill cycling, you never know. Yeah, so it makes a lot of fun, and then you can put students in groups, swap and analyze their partner's drawings, saying, I think this picture means you are a very happy person, and so on and so on. Yeah, so we can analyze our partner's work, like how you see yourself. You put here sun, so I think you see you're either a very happy person or you think too much of yourself. Right? This is the whole sun. Whatever, but try to keep it positive. And ask students to start, I think this picture means you are happy, nice, and so on. So they focus on positive traits of their partners. To establish a rapport between students and between yourself and each student, it can be another activity, lie detector. This is a very simple and maybe very well-known activity, but it always works to establish connection between you and your students. Tell students that you're going to talk about yourself for 2 minutes, and they have to make notes as they listen. Tell them that there will be 2 lies about your life. We will try it now, and whatever you think is a lie, you can type it in the question answer box. So, my name is Tatiana Shelepko. I'm a Cambridge English ELT consultant. Today I woke up at 6 o'clock and I went cycling. After that, I had lobster for breakfast, and then I started working. I was preparing for this webinar and answering to the phone calls, to the emails, and then I went outside and I met my friend whom I haven't met for 6 years. We talked a little bit, and then I had to go because the webinar was about to start. And that's it. Here I am. What do you think is a lie? Can you imagine the lobster could be actually a truth? No, I didn't have lobster, that's true. But there was one more lie. I did go cycling. Meeting friends. Yeah, that's true. I did wake up at 6 o'clock. But I haven't seen my friend for 60 years. I'm not that old. Yeah, but meeting a friend was a lie, but it was almost a lie. My friend whom I haven't seen for 5 years, I guess, and from whom I haven't heard for 5 years, just texted me, and we had a very little nice conversation on the way to this webinar. So it was a nice moment of happiness of the day, but I didn't meet him. So yeah, those were my 2 lies. And how it works, it's not only it builds rapport between you and your students, it also teaches them how to listen actively for specific information, right? So they have to listen to everything to understand what is the lie, what is the truth. It would be great if you have the possibility to interact more. It would be great if you made groups of students and let them brainstorm what is a lie, what's not, what they think, and decide from this group which questions to ask, so you reveal what is a lie. And in this case, you as a teacher could be standing there and saying, I don't know, no, it's true, it's true. Yeah, so you could put this in a more intriguing way. And then you can ask students to do the same thing in their group. Yeah, so each of them has to tell a very little story about himself, and the rest of the group has to decide what is a lie and what is truth. So they build rapport between each other in these groups. Other back to school ideas that I saw. It's a really great thing to put together a playlist, especially if your students use Spotify or YouTube music. If you use it as well, it's a great thing to make a playlist of motivating songs, and whenever and you use it for the whole year. Yeah, whenever your students say that they don't want to do something, you say, we've got the playlist, and after each song of this playlist, which we might listen once, I don't know, once in 2 weeks or in a month, let's promise each other that we get motivated and we start writing our tasks or doing our tasks properly. So this motivational music playlist can be something that students take as a project and create together on some music resource, and you might use it for the whole year. Another one, what will I put here, Mrs. Wilson, but what will my teacher need to do to help me this year? This can be done on sticky notes or just messages on some storyboard, like any mind map resource, any Mindcast website where students can make input all together. But if it's live, it can be on sticky notes. So each students can make a list how they want you to help them learn English better. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry. Sorry for that. Students make this list for you. You, of course, process this list, and it will help you understand the needs of your students, maybe not only in the language. Yeah, and they might write down some funny things, of course, but the idea here is to understand the actual need behind those funny things as well. I used this thing when I was teaching in the 6th grade, and my students did it. Some of the boys, of course, wrote some very strange things, which was really funny for their group, and I let them have this fun. But then the next lesson, I asked them to do it like really, that I really want to help you to learn English better, to like English more. What I can really do to help you. Like, I want to do that, and I will do it if you tell me what you need. This is also about emotional intelligence and their possibility to grow up and to communicate their both emotional and learning needs to you. And maybe if you do it twice, it will also work. Maybe it will work with you from the first time. What's new? Prepare Students' Book, English for a New Ukrainian School, from the Linguist Publishing and Cambridge University Press and Cambridge Assessment English. The book that teachers were voting for is going to be online on the Publishing Linguist UA website. In addition, we are going to have a print version that you will be able to purchase during September. Once the book is printed out and in sale, you will see it in all the news, and you will receive an email to your email box if you are signed up for the Linguist News. So please sign up to our Facebook pages, sign up to our emailing to learn when exactly the book is out. It will be there in September. If you are not going to wait for the book that will be supplied by the government, if you're going to wait for that one, then you don't have to buy this book. It will be for free. If you want to have it as fast as possible, we will be doing some amount of these books printed and for sale. If you wish to purchase Prepare for the 5th grade for New Ukrainian School, you can fill out the form that you will receive after the webinar, and you can also find it on the Linguist UA website. So if you wish to receive it, fill out the form and wait for it to get printed. Then you will learn all the prices and all the information about how to order it. The same situation with the workbook. Workbook will be available somewhere in the middle of September, and you will be able to buy it in the middle of September. As of now, we have the first unit on the Publishing Linguist website, and you can use it online. After you use it online a little bit, in the second part of September, you will be able to buy your workbook and work with it properly. In addition, we have new editions. This is Prepare Grammar, This is a practice book with grammar rules and grammar exercises for Prepare and maybe for another book you're using, which will be also helpful, but for the Momrev model program with all the topics needed. And another one is a test book. So this one can work as a portfolio for your students with tests, and these tests are not the ones like you have in your additional resources on the Publishing Linguist UA website. These are tests for each grammar and lexical topic, for each unit, for each block, and also these tests are progress tests to see how students are progressing. These are not testing or examining their knowledge. This is for students' progress. So once again, students' book print edition during September. Before that, you can find it online here on this website, Publishing Linguist UA. Workbook, middle of September. Before that, online on Publishing Linguist UA. Tests and grammar booklets, also in September, you will be able to purchase them. Teacher's book, still online. All the additional resources, audio, video, plans, term tests, etc., online at Publishing Linguist UA. To repeat, yeah, a teacher's book, all the methodological support, audio, video, yearly plans, webinars, seminars, and if you need to consult with your manager, you can do that easily. And also additional materials from Cambridge English. And here is a QR code that you can use to find out what's there. All these materials that are here on this slide, this is all for free. And you can already use all of them on the Publishing Linguist website. Here is the link. Once again, you can make a print screen. You will also receive this link in your email after the webinar. And please don't forget that there is a teachers platform, NUS English.com.ua for secondary teachers as well. This is a free platform where you can work on your professional development and receive 10 hours certificate from this platform, which can be checked and confirmed by your methodologist easily. Now, time for questions and answers. I'm ready to answer your questions. I have a question from Halina Yegorova, whether the schools are going to receive books for free. Yes, they are going to receive books for free, only students' books. And I don't know when this is going to happen. So that's why we prepared students' books for sale in September. I will look at other questions. When will the workbook on Prepare be available? What about the other components of the course, grammar book and tests? Oksana Zhorachenko. They will be available in September. Workbook, somewhere in the middle of September. I cannot tell you the exact date because we're printing those now. And they will be available during September. And I will remind once again that you can fill out the contact form that you will receive in a thank you letter after this webinar tomorrow, together with your certificate. There will be a contact form which you can fill out if you want these materials, so you know that the manager will contact you in September once these materials are on sale. Okay. Will there be a digital student's book? There will be an online ebook or flipping book that you can use for your online lessons. Regarding the interactive student's book or any interactive presentation plus, things like those, for the Ukrainian edition, unfortunately, this year, you know that due to all the events we are having, we couldn't afford this financially, and as well we couldn't work on the license because we were mostly focused on printing and preparing the books and pulling it all together. So as for now, there is no interactive ebook or presentation plus, if you call it so, but we are working on that. Not sure it will be there in September or October, but it's the work in progress. I plan to share the video recording of this webinar for Elena Rybachenko. There will be the video on our Facebook page. How many hours per week for 5th grade pupils? How many hours? We have the standard part. This is 3 hours, 3.5. Standard is 3.5, which means 4 in the first semester and 3 in the second semester. Minimum 3 hours, maximum, as you wish, can be 5. With Prepare, you can do both 3, 3.5, 4, 5 hours. We are working on Presentation Plus, reminding that once again. But as of now, it's not available yet. Yes, we don't have the full workbook, because we're going to print the workbook in September. By the time you finish the first unit, it will be there out. So you will be able to buy it. How many lessons per week does the book feature? From 3 to 5. Are there any methodology materials in English according to the base standard? I was mentioning the new Ukrainian, the platform that we were developing together with British Council, Cambridge Assessment English, Cambridge University Press, and the Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine. Okay, here it is. This is the platform where you can find methodology materials in English. All right, thank you very much. We had this time 45 minutes webinar, so that will do as of now. If you have more questions, you can text me. These are my contact details. This is my email. So if you want, you can, if you have more questions, you can either text me, or when you fill out the feedback form, it's better if you put your questions there, and then I will group them and answer everyone properly. So it was a pleasure to have all of you today. Thank you very much. I wish you the greatest start and the most motivated start of the new school year, considering how difficult this is. Still, we can do it all together, and I will be here to help you and consult you. It will be really nice if you leave in the feedback the topic of the next webinar which you are interested in. I'm mostly now interested in positive psychology and communication, and also drama activities. So if I find those topics, I will be happy if I could be able to prepare those. And yeah, and you will receive your certificates after you fill out the feedback form, which you will find tomorrow, not today, tomorrow, on your email address. At the same time, I will stop the presentation, and I will just, in case, send you the link to this contact form for your certificates, but you will receive them tomorrow. Just for those who need the certificate today, here is the link. Can you see it in the chat?